Hello, fellow travelers. This is Veronica from Human Design Journey. We're going to look today at the transit field. And the sun just moved into the gate of progress. Change. So this is the gate of life, of creation, and of human experience. Here is the satisfying of the appetite for change. We have a talent for experience. Like last week, we had the talent, we have the mirror, the talent for experimentation, the primary gate of action, experience, but only once in order to gain the experience. And afterwards, it's no longer necessary. Otherwise, it can be unhealthy. You survived the first time, don't risk with the second time. You know, been there, done that. Jack of all trades. But if you try a second time, you might not survive it. You went to Mount Everest, been there, done that. Don't risk a second time unless your strategy and authority says so, and it is correct for you. And this energy will be grounded in the fifth gate, which fixes the pattern. This is the gate of waiting as an active state of awareness. Here we have the fundamental tuning to the natural rhythms, to be in the flow, to be in the rhythm of life. And this week, we might be inclined to think that we can change and intervene and mess up with the natural rhythms of life and manifest what we want, communicate, and say things that we might later regret, not wait for clarity, and dive with without being careful, without relying on clarity, but just diving in spontaneously in unhealthy stuff, or not knowing when enough is enough, when we're under pressure, under stress, in a hurry to do stuff, make promises, looking for the correct direction, and what is our identity, looking for love, not knowing what to be inspired for, and being actually in the possibility for insight and expression, explanation. This is what is in the notes, in the surrounding, continues to have the 2343, the channel of the genius to freak, the channel of structuring, still in the air with its melancholic energy, and will be there till mid-July. Still in the fourth line, splitting apart the gate of assimilation in the line of fragmentation with fatalism and egoism, atheism and paranoia, individual expression which engenders isolation and fear, being deaf to what other people say, to other people's truth, and being focused on your own breakthroughs, which you want to express without waiting, under the pressure and the potential for feeling, which can drive us this week for the possibility of experience, and the expression for change. Trying to fix the pattern the way we want to, thinking we are in control. Basically, we have almost the entire stream of feeling. So prone to looking for new experiences which will bring new feelings, feeling for change. How do you feel today? I feel for change. Looking for progress and basically voicing the contribution you want to give to this whole setup. So be aware that there is a lot of manifesting energy in the air, but unless you're a manifester, you better rely on your strategy and authority to make sure you get yourself in the correct crisis, which are quite possible to happen since we have also the 36th gate actually for a long time activated by Pluto, which gives us the channel of transitoriness. 35, 36, which links basically the throat center through the gate 35, the gate of progress, to the 36th gate, the darkening of the light in the emotional center. And here we have an emotional manifesting channel that will try anything and everything, even if there is no obvious value, to obtain experience. This is what the abstract is about, to start new things and to gain experience, to dive into the experience and into the feeling, into what's going on, completely into the abyss, and explore, being in the process, experimenting until it's over. And then, only then you can look back and through the time, through time, see whether it was valuable or not experience. But this is also jack of all trades. Basically, it's about really trying everything, and over time gaining all this experience that might grant you some wisdom of what experiences pay off in terms of value, or it might result in a sense of dejection that nothing amounts to very much. Basically, the creative nature of this channel is definitely not personal, but collective, and you might want to share your experiences with others. Actually, it's all about sharing. And this is the experiential way that might require doing things that have never been done before and that may not be easy. But here's what makes it so interesting. The process is shared. So when you get this week into those spontaneous, emotional actions and words, you want to drive everybody with you. And that's what makes actually a progress, really a progress, because it's shared. It doesn't do any progress if it is by itself, if it's alone. You will be prone to take others with you. Explorers are people who usually have a whole team. They do everything in a team. You cannot go alone in the mountain, or your chances for survival will be much lower. So usually you have your expedition team. At the same time, as I said, as I mentioned, the channel of structuring is still putting its mark on what's going on. And it is basically the expression of the individual mind, where concepts are grasped as insights and restructured, then expressed in the 23rd gate. And when you're able to actually express yourself in such a way that the others understand you, they'll respect you, and they will really appreciate your unusual point of view, and will be ready to hear you. Or on the other hand, when you don't choose the right timing, when you're not invited, and especially now under the desire to express, say something that will not be in the right time, and people will not be ready to hear it, and then you will look like a freak in their eyes with your strange possible insights and expressions. Just because you express something, there is no guarantee that it will be expressed intelligibly. And when expression is grasped unsuccessfully, basically you will not be able to mutate and to change others anyways. So why bother? But if you continue to improve your speech skills and patience, waiting to be recognized for what you have to say, only then you can be actually successful in structuring your knowing to empower others, to empower them structurally, actually. And to give contribution and enhance their acceptance to those who are different. Only then the freaks will be accepted. But it's interesting months actually going on with this environment, because there is a lot of acceptance for the different or not. And especially we're for a long time in the fourth line, which is quite fixed, and it might not be accepting to the other and to the different. Fatalism and egoism are in the air, atheism and paranoia from the different even, and from the individual expression, because especially now that we have the 3536, it's a collective channel, and the collective doesn't like the individual because it brings change and mutation, and it is not something you can rely on. And the past patterns are something that only the new can basically scramble and make into chaos from which mutation can eventually come through. At the same time, we have the 53rd gate in as a driving force, the gate of beginnings, which will change very soon. So wanting to start something new, bring contribution, the highest good to serve selflessly, or the willingness to be an example for a price, where reward is a prerequisite of service. That's what we want to communicate. The values are in nourishment, the gate of caring, the ability to distribute effectively the resources of others. Either the gifted and principled agent of distribution, or the good sense and ability to find one, or the weakness and the risk of loss of power that restrict caring, restrictive nature that hampers distribution, or the seeking of advice and assistance. So these will be our values, and if they're not met together with the law and protection in the gate of opinions, first line openness, the energy to sustain a broad spectrum of stimuli and the possibility of having many opinions. And if all of this is not met, we will be restricted in the gate of feelings, line 1, composure, balance in the face of disorder. So restricted in your balance, and losing the stability of through feelings, no matter what the situation. Balanced through feelings, but unable to let go of them. And the unusual chaos and innovation is in the second line, in the second gate, fourth line, secretiveness, more than modesty, the ability to persevere harmony through discretion. The higher goal transcends personal acclaim. The team player acknowledged as the leader, but never the captain, where higher knowing does not have to be expressed to be recognized. Loose lips sink ships. The unquenchable fire of the ego engenders enmity. The inability to keep silent when the opportunity arises for expression. So a lot of things will be definitely said today and the next few days, where we continue to have the darkening of the light in the transition, the point at which decline has exhausted the power, the ability to establish a new order out of the ashes of the old, the emotional depth to endure crisis and embrace change. So still there will be in the air the possibility to handle those crises and changes, and the tendency in renewal to try to assimilate the remains of the old order into the new, with the risk that it may rise again, and to regain its strengths once the new order that you have risen against is established, the embrace of the change, but with feelings that will not let go of the past. So this continues to rule us also with Pluto, limitation, the gate of acceptance in the third line, conservatism, enlightened self-interest that naturally handles restrictions and limitations, ensuring identity and security. The energy to maintain identity and security despite limitations. This is our truth, transformation, and psychology. Ego gratifying self-interest that ignores limitations and suffers predictably. Energy which ignores limitations and pays the price. So again, we're put also through this week through limitation, crisis, not accepting the your place, and not being a team player, being really fixed with talking too much about things that don't matter, which are not really inspiring, not our thoughts, making deeds which are coming out of not out of clarity, but out of being in a hurry to prove yourself and your worth, not knowing when enough is enough, when to stop, when to maintain the energy, when to actually engage, respond when is correct, not knowing what is healthy and when to stop the unhealthy, not knowing what to be or what to love and which direction to take, not knowing what is inspiring. Basically, this is the transit field of today. Be aware of doing unnecessary stuff just for the doing of them, just for the new experiences. Because if you don't do it, if you do it out of mind, and if you don't do it out of your authority and with the protection of your least resistant strategy, basically you can get into big messes this week. Get into crisis which will not bring you progress, changes which you desire, you burn for, to feel something new, but the fates might not be on your side. The only thing that really protects you is to wait for clarity, to wait out for whatever your body awareness is your wisdom, depending on your personal authority and the strategy of the type which protects us from the unexpected changes, which might not bring the ability to accept rejection, but to be self-destructive reaction to the same rejection, loss of worth, change and rejection as humiliation. Humility is what we start with, this energy. Then through the week, we're going to go through the creative block in the second line, the collaboration in the third, the hunger in the fourth, the altruism in the fifth line, and finish off with the rectification, the energy to correct. If you follow your strategy and authority, you will get into the correct feelings, which will bring the correct change and progress. And whatever the crisis, you will go correctly through it, bringing your individual insights whenever correct to the surface, so that you can share your opinions and contribution with the world where appropriate. Have a great journey, my fellow travelers, and hope to talk to you soon. This is Veronica from Human Design Journey. Bye.